You got a brain fog.
You got a brain fog?
Yeah, I'm talking about you.
What? Brain fog?
You don't understand? Google that.
I don't got it. Oh, just like cloudy brains?
Yes, and it's it's
Confused? It just means confused, right?
it's like your brain is rotten.
Oh, you mean brain rot?
Yeah, sort of that.
Yeah. I got my degree right here. Look.
It's because you're crazy cable.
I got my degree though, so I've done both.
You did what?
I said I don't just do gaming. I got my college degree. I exercise every day. I do art.
What about your character?
This is Venom. Oh, you mean my like personal character?
I'm talking about your personal character.
My personal character. I think I'm a very developed person. I have a lot of interesting viewpoints and beliefs.
You think developed person play games?
I think that it's justified because it's an experience you can't get anywhere else.
And there's a lot to do. The way they want just
There is, but there's also a lot. You know what? Half the day is just holding back. I feel like it's like when you take a brush and you're gonna paint something. The feeling that I feel is I gotta hold back. Actually,
yeah. I mean, it's sports. If you game a bit and you don't rely on it, that's okay. But people are just crazy. And they just play all the day and all the night. They've got the brain rot.
yeah, I try to do a lot of things.
What's your age?
33.
23.
Yeah, 33.
Oh, you
I think I'm talking to my chat right now. My take on American truck culture. My family all drives trucks, man, because we all do construction. They actually do. They actually do. I don't like it when people just have trucks just to have trucks, because I think that that's kind of like it's not really you. But if you do actually work in construction, like my family does, we use a lot of trucks. But I don't like when people just have trucks to be cool or try to be cool. But a truck can be useful. Anyways, what was your name in Pakistan?
Well, my name is actually,
Akhmed?
but what about your name?
Austin.
Oscar.
Austin.
Austin.
Yep.
Austin, you're 33.
Yeah, I'm 33.
We're literally searched you. I mean, you was like 20 by teeth.
Yeah, everyone says I look young. I just exercise. I've exercised my whole life, so I think it helps my skin.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Well, if you have kids,
No,
you're not married.
no.
You're not in a relationship. We stop. For me, it's 33.
Yep, 33. I don't think I'm ever gonna have kids.
Oh, is that just because of is that your conditioning? Were you feeling it like that?
You know what? Maybe I'm just too selfish. Maybe I'm not a good enough person. I just don't want to have to change diapers. I don't want to have to change diapers and do kid stuff. I like being an adult that does my own stuff.
What your dad did for you, your mother did for you.
But I could say this though too. I could say I'm just like a leaf that's falling from a tree. And where do the roots go? But the roots. Am I what?
Are you Christian?
No, I'm my own religion. I believe that everything is just a dot and a line. And the more that we become alive, the more that we can't focus on the dot, which is the point.
I'm asking. My question is that the years believe in association to you also.
I believe in my own religion. I have my own religion. I wrote it.
Oh, I see. I see. What's the name of your thing?
God is aligned.
So what is your fundamental faith? Okay, all you need.
I believe that everything in reality is connected and that ultimately we're all a part of the same line. But the more that we actually, what?
Connected to what?
Everything is connected to everything. So as much as I'm a human being, I'm also a leaf.
You must have an explanation of that now.
Yeah, well, I could say this. Listen, You move something, and it moves everything in the universe.
Who
Everything
made
is
the principles? Physics.
everything is connected. The principles are science. It's called the second law of thermodynamics. It
Yeah,
means
who made them?
the laws of science. They're
Yeah, yeah,
observed.
yeah.
They're not made. They're observed laws.
Oh, I see. You've got so much time for the games, but you don't really research on religion and science and
I've researched every religion, and I've taken quantum physics classes in school. I got all the way up to quantum physics.
Do you know about the Big Bang Theory?
Yeah. E equals mc squared.
Yeah, yeah.
Energy equals mass times the speed of light squared.
No, it's Einstein mass energy equation. That's another thing. E is equal to MC squared.
But it means everything came from a single thing. So energy is in the beginning, and it's an
Yeah, so
infinite
who was
point.
the one who made a single cell a big universe?
I think it's just emotion. I don't. I've read the whole Bible, and to me, it's like in the Bible, it even argues whether God is a man or God is a spirit. I like to think God is much more just an emotion. God is the idea of letting things happen. God is passivity and choice.
I'm talking. I'm saying have you ever read Quran?
The Quran. I've never read the Quran. My religious books go from like
I highly recommend you. You should and in a scientific perspective.
Still need to win this one.
Do you know?
maybe I will. I've read a lot of religious books.
The Big Bang Theory was stated 1400 years ago when there was no science and no equipment and no AI, nothing. 1400 years ago, our God told us that this universe was made or the result of a Big Bang.
All sort of stuff.
And there's a lot of stuff that science couldn't prove till 200 years ago, but it was revealed from our God 1400 years ago. Like if you think there was no equipment, who was the one who told that this all happened? Fortunately, he would be the one who created it. Like there's a quotation. The quotation says that wherever you see a design, there must be a designer. Like if I
I disagree. The only thing I disagree with is what God is. I think God itself is ultimately choice. It's a mirror. It reflects everything into the unknown. I think God is an unknown. I think the more anyone tries to say that they know what God is, they're wrong. I think God is something that nobody can know. I think God is a.
invites people to understand about himself.
I think God is. It's understanding, but it's understanding yourself. It's a mirror that allows you to reflect into your soul and say that you can be anything. You can be everything. To me, that's God. It's pure choice. It's no absolute. It's only absolute in that it's unknowable. That's what I believe, at least.
You set this limitation by yourself.
Well, it's not a limitation, it's a contradiction, and the contradiction allows it to be anything. There's only one absolute, and the absolute is that it's unknown. Do you understand how that doesn't make sense? It goes like this.
So yeah. So when you're gonna die, what's gonna happen to you?
I think I'll have pure choice. I can become. I think I can be anything. I think anything can happen. I think anything can happen once I die. Yeah, anything can happen. There's no. I think, well, it's anything, whatever I feel emotionally. And then as soon as I commit to that emotion, it'll be real. I think it's whatever I feel emotionally, that is what will exist.
Really true. So it is really true. Then who made the principle that whatever you think will be true?
See, the thing is life is all about control or free will. And when you say somebody had to make it, I believe that making something is up to the maker. And I think that once you align with that, you become God. I don't think that it's a choice that anyone made anything. I think that it's all emotion, and that's all it is.
Yeah, it will say you're saying that you can also be a God.
Yeah, it means that you're a part of. Think of it. You're connected to it, obviously.
Can you define what is God?
Yeah, a mirror. It's just a reflection that mimics everything.
I'm saying you. When you define what is actually God.
Well, I can give you some poetry that might give a better insight as to what it is, but my basic definition is that God is choice. God is a choice. Which means you can believe in him even if you don't. God is the idea that he exists and doesn't exist at the same times. as much as God exists, he doesn't exist because he's nothing. He's everything. That's what I believe.
Oh, brother, I disagree with you, but
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
yeah, we have different point of views.
This has been a good conversation, actually. Thank you.
Yeah, actually, yeah. We gotta know about ourselves more.
Yeah, no, this is probably the most intellectual conversation I've had on here. So,
Oh, see, I'm actually able to preach my religion.
oh, you are?
Yeah,
Is it Islam?
yeah. I follow this guy.
Okay. I think Islamic stuff is beautiful, but I think everywhere in the world is beautiful, though. Also, that's why I kind of I focus much more on a scientific perspective because I don't like one culture to take over any other culture. Like Japanese is Japanese, Muslim is Muslim, Roman is Roman.
There are Japanese Muslims. There are Indian.
There are sure
African.
there are, but it's for me as soon as something becomes a religion, it takes over culture, and I like things to be their own culture. That's why I say God is a choice, and so all of them can be true to me.
Islam is not a name of culture. It's a name of religion.
Yeah, God is. Somebody in my chat is saying God is consciousness. I do believe God is omnipotence, which means that God is an awareness that happens whenever God is. But
Whenever God, it means it means sometimes the server of God is off, and sometimes the server of God is on state.
do you like computers?
Well, you say that God might exist and God may not exist. If you mean like God, sometimes God is
No,
sometimes
no. See, well, when I took quantum physics, all of a sudden everything can exist in a state of duality. It means that there can be something that is a one and a zero at the same
I
time.
think it's science.
Yeah, that's quantum physics, though.
You know, you know.
Quantum physics says that one and a zero can exist at the same time.
There is no, yeah, there is no irrefutable theory in history. So
Sure, nothing. You can't prove anything. I agree with that. They teach you. They teach you that in science.
Space this proved that he just wrong. Boyle's law, Charles' law, or Weevil's law. Yes. After 200 years ago, a person came up with this old theory and he will disprove it. Like there are people nowadays who are disproving the further scientists. How can we believe in something that's ultimately changing with the passage of time?
Well, see, I believe that it's different for everybody, and there's no way to really know what it's like for anybody. That's why I say anything can happen after life. There's no limit. And I think that in the sense that something exists, it's true. And so those people existed and they had their thoughts, and it's true. But there's also non-existence, which means that everything is true, which doesn't exist as well. So I believe in everything. Anything I believe in. Basically. Well, that's fine. That's fine. I I hope you enjoy your time on here. That's what I've been telling everybody is just enjoy your time. On Twitch, yeah.
How many people are watching you?
Um, there's one right now.
Oh, I see. How long have you been on Twitch?
Like 5 years, 6 years, but I have a bigger YouTube following though. I'm just not streaming on YouTube right now because I'm playing music, and you can play music on Twitch.
What?
I said I'm not streaming on YouTube because on Twitch you can play music, but on YouTube if you stream and play music, they take your song down.
Yeah, you can go.
I'll give you my YouTube channel if you want. You can say hello. Here, that's my YouTube channel. You can come and say whatever you want on any of my videos.
Why? Oh, you have 189K.
Yeah, that's me.
We'll all be content.
But yeah, you're welcome to say anything on any of my videos. The videos I did today are just like what it looks like in my life. That's kind of my culture, you know what I mean? What it leads to. It just leads to raw emotion. Like every day I wake up to a million paintings and they're all different. I have to try and focus out of everything I've done, but
Wild butters. Do you know about the DNA?
DNA, yeah, deoxyribonucleic acid, yeah,
DNA has. Do you think that DNA really has decomposition in it?
yeah.
Can science prove that? Yeah.
Um,
There are a lot of things that science cannot prove. Like it's been
sure,
thousands of
but
years since
they say
science
this, and
exists.
what I've learned in science is they say this: you can't prove anything. Is what they ultimately say. What in the science classes I've taken, they say that they say everything is just a theory. It's just a hypothesis, and a theory is a hypothesis that's backed up.
Observation, yeah.
Yeah, a theory is a hypothesis that's backed up with observation.
Yeah, yeah, it's a tentative explanation.
So I was told that same thing when I took all my science classes.
How many years have you been researching about the religions and the deeper?
My whole life, I grew up in a religion that is like, I live in Utah and everybody here is Mormon, but I always questioned everything, even when I was a kid.
So you were a Christian in it we were born.
Yeah, they call themselves Christians.
How about you? Are you in contact with your family members?
I love my family, but I believe in something entirely different than they do.
John,
Most of my family still goes to church.
where you go? Yeah, I'm gonna ask you we're quite close to it. Um, take out your ego and answer this question. Are you truly happy with what you have and about your life? Are you truly satisfied about your life and whatever is going on with you?
You know what? I think that. Go ahead.
Where are you? And I'm not asking what you think. I'm asking what you feel.
Yes, I've given everything I have. I've tried my hardest, and I feel like I've touched
You try your hardest at what?
everything. And I feel like I have no more to give. I've given everything. Yeah, I said ego. But I feel like I gave up my ego a long time ago. I believe in letting things happen. That's why I say I'm a very passive person. I believe every culture, and I like to let everything happen. I would love to go to an Islamic place and experience the architecture, the people, the poetry, the music, the food. But I also love to go to Japan and see things that are Taoist, things that are Buddhist, things that are Confucius in China. And I love to see that people believe in themselves. I love to see anybody believe in themselves, is what I think. But I believe that love is this idea that it lets things happen. And I think love is letting everything be itself and letting everything happen. And maybe in the end, the thing that has done the most knows that, and then it itself chooses again to let everything happen. Maybe it's a cycle that goes on forever. Maybe that's love. It goes on forever.
Yeah, love is people free.
So I do poetry on my channel. I have it in a playlist on my channel. It's called Music, and I do poetry and write stories.
But I'm also a poet.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah. I'm also a happy the Quranian. I mean, I have learned the entire Quran by heart.
Nice. I bet a lot of people have done. You know what? In Christianity, a lot of people have never read the Bible even.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But the
Yeah.
Bible is like Bible has Old Testament and more New Testament, and like it's altered. People believe in that, but nobody can prove that our book Quran is altered. It's word by word the same as it was revealed. Tied bit.
Yeah. Are there people in Islam that have never read the Quran? Kind of just like there's Christians in Christianity that have never read the Bible. Is there people like that?
There are so many Muslims that don't know about the basic fundamental defense. Even Islam, Quran is another thing. They don't know about Islam.
Yeah.
Who are people?
Do you want to talk about something really stressful? Do you like debating, or do you like
No, that's not a debate. That's
yeah.
we both are trying to figure out that's true.
Yeah, I agree. I was just saying, I bet I know something that's going on we could talk about that. I don't even necessarily. I was just gonna say, the easy topic to identify is just Israel and Palestine.
Yeah.
You know,
Uh, yeah.
but I'm different. I have a different opinion because I like to look at it as poetry. I think there's poetry in life, and I would just say the same thing about Israel and Palestine. I don't know. I think there's something there that goes back a long time, almost as long as people try to think that they know what life is, just like this conversation. And I don't know what the right answer is.
Yes.
That's just me. I don't know. But I believe war is the opposite of creativity. For me, I would say almost the war between Palestine and Israel does not exist. I would just say that because if war itself is like this, physical, I'd like to say that maybe the opposite of war is creativity. So maybe there is no war. Maybe I shouldn't believe any. Maybe I should believe there's never been war. Maybe I should believe that there's always peace, and that there will be peace. If there's peace in the end, then there is peace today. So, what do you like that, or do you think that that's wrong to believe that there is no war?
And I was not familiar with you.
I just make.
Things. They think you're not playing the game right now.
Yeah, I'm not playing the game. I'm saying I'm not playing the game because I'm saying that the only way
I
to.
think you're not talking to me.
I'm talking to you.
Well, you shouldn't be that. It's just physical.
Oh, I'm sorry if it affects you physically.
No. That's your idea. I'm talking with your POV.
Okay, yeah, physical. Okay, yeah, I was saying, but see, maybe I don't believe in anything in life. Maybe I believe that nothing is real, and that this is all a
You
dream.
you've got you've got so many maybes.
I know,
Yeah.
I know, it's a lot of maybes. I agree.
Rather often.
I believe that this is a dream.
Yeah, Mister. I highly recommend you to treat yourself mentally, and you need so many psychological checkups because as long as I've been talking to you, I feel like you're so much like broken, and your mind is very rigid. Do you got that? That's a very brotherly opinion.
I see a psychiatrist. The state arrested me. I've been arrested by the state. United States arrested me for my belief.
You did some crime.
Yeah, they arrested me because of what I say. I went. They took me to a hospital.
Call it with tongue.
Yeah, because of my tongue. Yes.
Oh, everything happens for a reason.
So right now I have a psychiatrist and I have a therapist. I tell them these same things.
So what did they say?
They tell me, I agree. Nobody knows what life really is what they say to me. That's the truth. That's what they say to me.
Then after this round, you got to tell me what your damage block is.
Is the psychiatrist do he believe in some religion or he's an atheist? Well,
I've never asked him what his religion is. He might be an atheist. I think he might. If I was to tell you what I think he might be an atheist though. But so I have two people I talk to about mental health. I see a psychiatrist who is somebody who's finished medical school and they can prescribe medications. And I see a therapist, and a therapist hasn't gone to medical school and they just talk to you. I think that my psychiatrist might be atheist and my therapist is a Christian.
oh, that's what you'll hear.
Yeah, that's what I've never asked them. I've tried to never ask them what they believe. But yes, if you think that, I already have been. So you are right. Like, you are right in that. Like, I have been arrested by the United States government, and they took me away for 6 months in a mental prison.
In a mental prison there. Okay. Yeah. Do you observe that whatever you call this nowadays? Were you in the same position before the arrestment?
I think I've always been different.
So that's not because of your time.
I just think I've always been different. I always questioned everything, and I always believed in sort of magic since I was a kid, and I always I always believed in ridiculous things. I grew up watching cartoons and Dragon Ball
I
Z
think
and Go.
I think you had not been very good parented.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, that's a side effect of that. Well,
Seconds before you attack.
there's still a child who wasn't parented good inside you.
On the avatar of a
That's my point of view.
I'll shut that.
Yeah,
Huh.
because it's everlasting. It's everlasting. It's very hard to change in the condition you were born in and the things that you watched, the magic that you saw. Well,
That
Yeah.
the magic that you saw was published by somebody else. You know, like you were fed, your mind was fed by someone you don't even know.
I think magic is easy. Sure, but I think that all this stuff comes on my own though. My parents are Christian. They go to church and everything, but um see, I believe in that there's death and death is an unknown and I think magic is just the unknown. So when I say I believe in magic, that's just me saying that I believe in the unknown. I just say I believe in the unknown because I believe nobody knows what happens after death. I think it's a mystery.
Uh,
That's
well,
fine
if
if
there is, yeah, if there is actually a creator and if actually human beings have a creator, then his creator might have told him, told the human beings that what is your ending and what's going to happen to you. Does that make sense?
sure, it makes sense from your perspective, but from my perspective, if it's pure choice, then choice again is an unknown. We have to make a decision. It's like when you get to that point, you have to make a decision of who you're going to be and who you are. That's just like death. It's a scary decision that becomes
Yeah.
it becomes real.
Uh, in chapter number 2 of our Quran, it's clearly written that there is no compulsion in religions. There is no compulsion in religion. It means our God is saying that nobody has to be a Muslim um, with a gun on their head. Nobody has to be a Christian with a gun with their head. Everyone has the freedom, you know. And but but God has sent down his revelation in the form of a book named the Quran and Bible and weird books. So God has sent down His principles and laws, and God has left His people, and now it's up to people. Whatever they do, they will receive it back. Like good deeds and bad deeds, and do you think that if there is God, then God will reward Hitler? Yeah,
I think that everybody learns, and so I think that what you do does relate to an extent. So
I'm talking about
I'm
the
just
whole
gonna
Hitler.
say, I think that he probably has to figure something out before he can move on and progress. He has to do something different. He needs to change. He needs to change fundamentally.
Do you know about Adolf Hitler?
Yeah, I know Adolf Hitler, the man
Do you,
who
do you
was
think
from
God loved him?
He is from Austria, and he went and he
I'm not talking about his vocation. I'm talking about what he did.
the Holocaust. Yeah, I know about the Holocaust.
Yeah, he killed a lot of people.
I believe he can change, though. That's my thing. I believe he can change, like somewhat.
No, it's over. He's no more alive.
But at
He
the
missed
end,
his
though, I
chance.
think that
He missed,
see
he
that's
missed the chance.
I think that it's too. If you underestimate God like that, I think God is something so powerful that anybody can be anything. I think Hitler could change.
God can be anything, but the creation can't be. Like,
I think
all
that
limitations.
anything that comes
Can,
from
can you
God can be anything.
can you go to the moon by just thinking?
And in my dreams, I can.
I'm not talking about dreams. You see,
I know, but that's real though. In my dreams, I can go to the moon.
anybody can do anything in a dream. That's not
Exactly.
physical.
I
That's
know,
just what you could.
but it's part of the physical reality. It affects
Or just yeah.
it affects the world. And I think that we are connected to everything in space. So maybe in some way,
If I had a bad dream, does that mean that the world is going to end?
it means that something happened. I'm not saying the world's going to end. I don't know what it means. I'm just saying that
If I had a bad dream, if I had a dream that I'm going to die tomorrow, that if I sleep now and I
sure,
a dream, have a dream that I'm going to die tomorrow and I don't die tomorrow, then what does
but
that
it
mean?
does affect you though. But it does affect you though.
What if it doesn't affect?
I think there's no way. I think that's impossible for a dream not to affect people.
Yeah, I have a dream. Almost 13 years ago, 12 years ago, I saw that a snake came. A snake came and he attacked me. Ever since I'm 18 years old,
Yeah.
uh, I've got no snake there.
Okay.
I'm okay.
Nice. But maybe you thought about it when you saw a snake and it made you move just a little bit. Maybe one day when you did see a snake, you thought about it for a second, you thought about that dream, and it made you take one step this way and it changed your life forever.
Sure.
So it does affect you.
It doesn't affect at a big level, at a big scale.
I think that small things are big things though.
Where?
Just like I think that we can touch the moon in the same way that I'm connected to everything on Earth and in space. You're connected through time
Well,
with everything,
no.
is what I think.
I might.
Thank you for talking.
Actually, at intellectual diversity, but you miss a lot of things. Like you think very much consciously, but you lack a bit, and that's the missing part of your identity. You must find that missing part. That's your duty, because life is unfortunate, and you can die tomorrow, today, a year ago. Nobody knows when to die, when to be born. You were not born by your own will, and you're not going to be dead by your own will. So we've got one chance. Whatever you believe, but you gotta find the truth anyway. You gotta find it anyway, no matter what. You gotta be. You have to go so much deep in everything. In everything, you have to be open-minded, and you have to kill your ego, so that if there is a God, then He blesses you and He make you walk to the right path.
I'm trying.
This
If I can, I'm. It's just like everything else. If it happens to me, then bless. Blessedness. But if it happens, then it happens. But I'm not. You know what I mean?
But
If it
you gotta
happens,
make it happen. I think if I just think in a room that I'm gonna be a millionaire tomorrow, and I don't do action, am I gonna be a millionaire the next day? No, I'm not. It means that I have to do something. I have to work. I have to do some business or whatever, the job, whatever, a lottery, whatever. But I have to do action. I have to move. Nobody, every action has a reaction. Every action, there is always an equal that others. It means that in order to have a reaction, there must be an action. If you don't have to, what thinking isn't an action. Thinking is just a process that you're gonna have an action, but if you don't move, the thing doesn't happen. If you think that I'm gonna be blessed by God and I'm gonna find a guilt one day, but I'm gonna play video games like the rest things of my life. No, you gotta be. This should be the highest priority of your lives. That I am here for a reason. Like for example, if somebody puts you in a train and you don't know what put me in this train, okay, the train is moving. You're asleep. Now you get up. What question will come in your mind first? Answer.
where am I?
Okay, number two.
What am I gonna do? Probably.
Yeah, number three.
Am I having fun or not?
And who put me here? Who put me here?
Yeah, that was my first. That was my first question.
Yeah, who put me here? What am I supposed? Why am I supposed to be here? And what is this place? Like, yeah. So you were not born by your own will, and when you get up and when you see the world, when you get conscious, you don't think like that. Like the example, you think differently.
Well, like I said, yeah.
Well, I thought like we could have been born 1500 years ago by another. We could have another dad, but why dad? I mean, are we supposed to born here?
That's why I said a little bit ago, I said life is a struggle between control and no control. And you want to accept that life is good. I think ultimately what I would say our conversation is leading into is whether or not life is ultimately good or not. Is God actually good? I would say that's where we're leading to next, because I've had this conversation a lot, and I think that's the next part where um so is God goodness, basically, is what I think.
Yeah. And as Muslims, we believe that whatever happens to us was written to be happen ever since, since before this world was created. Like,
Yeah, it's
it
called
was written.
predetermination,
Yeah,
predestination.
yeah,
Yeah,
predestination. Yeah, that's
yeah,
a
and
better
that's
way to
what I
put
was,
this up.
I was saying, like, like accepting the fact that you're in God's hands. Like, I can understand that, but that's why I was saying the next step is like, is God good? Because for you to accept that in your life, you have to accept that God is good. And but then you have to
How can we
understand.
know? How can we know that God is good?
Well, the obvious questions are, why isn't everything perfect in the world if God is good, right?
Yeah, why are human
So
beings not
what is your
perfect?
answer for that then? What is your answer for?
Okay, so I have an
Okay,
why are human beings not perfect? It can be put this out like that.
if we
Why
have
are
to
human beings?
accept God's will, then is God's will good or not? Yes.
Okay, okay.
So
Wait, wait. Human beings are not perfect, right?
okay,
So if God is actually perfect, His creation should also be perfect.
I agree.
Is it yeah, okay. So if it, so we've got billions. We have two options: positive and negative, whether do good deeds or do bad deeds.
Okay.
In our faith, it's our fundamental that we are here for a test. We are here for a test. If we do good deeds, we are going to be we are going to be rewarded at the afterlife, the life next to this life. And if we do, and vice versa. So that's the reason that we've
If you
got
do bad,
choice.
yeah, I understand.
Yeah, that is why we are not perfect, because because we're in a test,
Okay.
and in a test nobody has to cheat, nobody's allowed to cheat. And in God's authority, nobody's allowed to cheat.
Okay. See, I do also believe that God is good, and I feel like, you know what? As much as I have or can, I can give my will up to God. But the only thing that might differ between what you say and what I say is that since I believe that God is just choice, I think that we get further away from God as life becomes real, because reality is sort of like a test. See, I believe in a lot of things that you do. It's just different words, kind of.
If you believe in God, if you truly believe in God, but do you think God will love you if God knows that you don't?
It's like, it's hard though.
If, yeah.
It's just hard. It's
Do you
just
think
hard
God is
because the more that we live, the less that we want to change, and if change is God, because in the end we have to change again to be back with God.
It's never too late to be the one you could have been.
Oh, doctor.
My whole thing is just that there's not necessarily like, I almost don't think that there's a right or wrong way. It's just at the end we have to change. At the end we have to change to be with God again. And since we have to change, life or the world goes away from God, and life becomes limited. And life becomes, that's why we call it reality, and the reality check is because life becomes limited from those choices, which is God. That's what I think. So the more we live, the further we are away from God. But it's just by the fact that God is choice and life limits choices. So I think choice for me is an important part of it as well. I agree, because choice does make you end up where you end up. So I agree with you on a lot of things, but it's just when you maybe describe God, or like
That's against.
how you get to where you have free will, or if God is good, kind of thing. I just come at it from some different places, kind of.
Yeah, what I have praised is that if you there are two possibilities. If you believe in God, truly believe in God, not without any question. If you
Yeah.
truly believe in God, everything that you believe, that like 99.9% of your beliefs are gonna be are gonna stop. You're gonna stop believing those. And if you don't, then you're gonna head towards more, more.
Or darkness, sure.
It's the battle between believing in God, in God, and or not believing in God. But if God really exists, that means we have to live as God has commanded us to live. And if God really doesn't exist, that means you can do whatever you want to do because there's no one to question you about what you did, what you not did, what you could have done. So that's a matter of is God real or is God just a story or fictitious? Wait a minute.
Okay.
Wait a minute. It's my brothers.
Claro, testing violence. There, you don't need to show. Left, left, left.
Yeah, man, I'm back.
Okay. I was just going to say that I think that choice is goodness, but I think that to an extent we're still just children, basically. Like I'm an innocent child. I really, you know what I mean? In terms of just me in comparison to God, like I'm an innocent child. And I don't understand. I don't think I'll ever be able to understand. I can make, sure, realistically, I can make choices.
You're sending this signal to your brain that I may not understand. You know what does that mean? It it's all about mindset. If you go to a stadium, if you go to a football game and you have a wrong mindset that what if I fail? What if I don't perform well? You're 100% going to lose because you don't have the mindset. Everything begins from the brain. When you're thirsty, the brain says to drink. Like there's a chemical reaction in your brain. It sends information, and you do the action.
Well, then what if I just say that I understand some things but not all things? What if I just say that then? Is that like being confident but humble at the same time? Like I can understand some things and there's some intelligences up to degrees, but I'll never understand God, maybe at least not right now. But I can understand going to a baseball game and
That's your
figuring
decision.
the
That's your
seed.
decision, man.
Just because we're
If you think that, that's fine. You know what I mean? Like that's 100% fine. I'll love you for it. I'll love you for it.
Don't you think?
What?
Don't you think that is your choice? That is your mindset.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Sure, maybe it is. But for the sake of conversation,
I'm not. Maybe could be. Or no, not maybe could be. Yes or no?
depends on
yes, it's my choice.
Yes, that is your choice, and you are the one who is responsible for your own choice. Eh?
Maybe I'm afraid of God. What if I just say I'm afraid of God?
Yeah, like I said, you've got so many maybes. You gotta fix that. You gotta fix your maybes.
Y'all know what some of my professors said? Have you? When I was in college, there was always kids that would talk like this kind of, and they would say we're not playing the what if game. They say you can play the what if game all day.
Just like we.
What if this? What if that? What if this? What if that? So they call in America they call it the what if game. I'm pretty good at it.
That's all right.
I've enjoyed this conversation. This has been
good.
I really have enjoyed this conversation.
It's good playing. It's good playing. Could have been game and what if game.
let's go.
I think it's very good to try to think about these things because a lot of people don't.
Yeah, it's very good to think about it. Because when you use your mind, you figure out things. When you don't use your mind, you're not able to figure out things because you're not using your mind. That's so simple.
Yeah. So how does this affect you in your daily life then? Do you believe that you only have to find God, or then do you say like I have to work and I have to have a family?
We believe that God is watching us 24/7 without losing his sight for a single fraction.
Yeah.
We don't life is not all about like this God is God. God gave us this world to live here. Like we have to live here. We have to see things. We have to build businesses. Work, eat. Like these are the basic needs. We have to drink. Okay, so we have a lot
Yeah.
of things to do, and that's what God made for us. And the basic thing, The basic fundamental is that we believe that everything is made by God, and we have to remember God in every single fraction.
Take your hero. Or middling, I'm not judging.
I think you just disconnected.
It's like the